afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Fehmina Khalique, on behalf of Lloyd Business School, welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Fehmina Khalique ma'am, all my faculty colleagues and students who have joined the webinar today. Lloyd constantly strives to build knowledge for its young managers by bringing astute leaders and faculty to augment their learning. In order to impress the future managers with latest developments in the corporate world, Lloyd has taken the initiative to conduct expert talk series called Enhancing Employability Skills for budding managers. And today we are having the 10th expert talk on managerial skills for young managers. Without much ado, I would like you to introduce to our eminent speaker. We are honored to have with us Dr. Fehmina Khalique ma'am, who is currently associated as an associate professor, head research cell, editor Lloyd Business Review and Lloyd Chronicle at Lloyd Business School, Greater Noida. Ma'am is associated with academics for past 14 years in the human resource management, business communication, and cross-cultural management subject specializations. She has 4 years of industry experience and enjoys being a corporate trainer, counselor, and a consultant. Her research interest lies in cross-cultural management, international management, human resource management, human capital. Besides, she has several high-quality research papers to her credit. In her free time, ma'am likes to do social work and deliver free career counseling sessions for students on honing their interpersonal and corporate communication skills. I welcome you, ma'am, and I will now hand over the session to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fehmina Khalique, for a wonderful introduction. I'm really humbled, and it's so nice to be on a platform with young managers, would-be managers, and it's a great initiative by Lloyd and by you, of course, that you are conducting such fruitful sessions for the students from time and again. Every week they are having such fruitful sessions. So the session and the topic that has been given to me by you, Dr. Madan, is managerial skills for managers, which is very relevant, especially for MBA students who are going to be future managers. In 2024, you all will be managers working with great corporate houses. And I can see that a lot of MBA students are there who have come from management background, but many are those who have come from science or humanities, and they often are lost because they do not understand the concepts behind managerial skills which are required for managers. So this session is for students who have no background whatsoever for management. They have not done any BBA or BCom, especially for those students, and of course for those students who even have gone through BBA, but they need to brush up their managerial skills. They should know that what managerial skills are and what are required to be great leaders of the world. And if I name a few leaders like Warren Buffett, Jack Ma, Elon Musk, they are all great managers. They're leaders later, but they are managers first. So it is important to understand the concept of managerial skills, and managerial skill is something which can be developed. It is not something that you are born with, not necessarily you are born a leader. You can learn the traits of being a great leader. You can just take examples from around you. You can see how management is done. So, I often tell my students that the best example is at your home, your mother, who is a great, manager. How she's a great manager? She manages time, she manages finances, she organizes things, she plans everything, and everything is done accordingly. So in case she misses out something, then what happens? The whole house is haphazard and everything goes on a chaos. So it is very important that managers should have these skills. So first of all, yes, Karan Kanoja, we can take up the questions after my session. So let me just go through the session first. And maybe you can type your questions if you want. Instead of raising hand, you can just type your questions if you want in between. So this is just a basic, definition of management. And if you're not aware about it, management is nothing but getting the things done by someone else, by allocating resources, by delegating authority. For example, there's a party at home. So your mom can tell, okay, you are going to do the crockery. Someone else is going to do the cooking. The other person is going to do the cleaning. Someone is going to receive the guests. Someone is going to make the list of the guests. Someone is going to, send the invites to the guests. So there are so many things which are to be planned before an event takes place. And same thing happens in the organizations also. Same thing happens in the corporate world also, where it is very important to do the planning before going ahead with the execution of the plan. So what is management? Management is nothing but getting the things organized, getting things planned, and getting things done from a group of people in an effective manner and in an efficient manner. In a budget that is allocated to you. You don't want to, exceed the budget. You don't want to go and do something. Anyone can do. If I give you 1 lakh rupees to arrange a party, you can easily go and arrange the party. But if I tell you, no, you have to arrange a party in 10,000 bucks for 20 people. So it will be difficult. But then that's how you have to work. That's how it is. You have limited resources. You have limited human resources, capital resources, and so many other things. And you have to make it in an effective and an efficient manner. That's what you have to do. So as I was telling you about the effective leaders of the world, I just want to show you a video to all of you. So I'm going to share a video. Just give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to share a video with all of you. So let's see if you can, if you cannot hear it, just put it on the chat box. So I'm going to start this video. This is, the top 10 business leaders who have changed the world in 2022. I want you all to have a look at this video. It's very interesting.
Fehmina ma'am, is there some sound also?
Okay, is sound coming from behind?
Yeah, no, it's not coming.
Oh, just a second. Give me a second.
Ma'am, sound is still not coming.
Okay, it's not coming. The sound is not coming.
No, ma'am, no.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Huh?
Sure.
But the screen is visible to all, right?
Yes, I believe, it's visible to everyone. And when you are sharing that, you have to click for sharing screen and including the computer voice as well. If you're getting that option.
Yeah, just have a look if the sound is coming now. Is it coming?
No, ma'am,
no. Okay, so I think there is some technical glitch or something. So I'll just stop the video.
Okay.
No issues. I can just explain to them like that only.
And we can also share this YouTube link with them separately.
Yeah, I'll share the YouTube link with them.
Sure.
That's a good idea. In fact, I'll just now share the link with them.
Sure.
So that
they all can post and they all can see it themselves.
Yes. Yeah, sure. So I've shared the YouTube link. I'll share 2 YouTube links with them. In fact, they can go through these links. They are very interesting videos. I wanted them to show them these videos, but unfortunately the sound is not coming, so much cannot be done about it. Okay, I'll get back to my PPTs. Okay, so as I was saying, I can just explain to you that there are the top leaders in the world. As I was telling you that the top leaders in the world are, Jack Ma is one of them, and Warren Buffett is another. And another leader from Indian, perspective is Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google, and he is in top three leaders of the world. Top three leaders of the world. So what does these leaders do differently to make them at a position of a CEO, Chief Executive Officer? So what is it that makes them different? They manage things effectively and efficiently. That is the success story behind them. So, a research was done and it was found out that what do effective leaders do or what do managers do in order to be, at a high position. And the crux of the matter was that they were using the resources, especially human resources, in a very effective and an efficient manner. So this was the crux of the research that was done. So I'll just go ahead with more of my slides. Often a question is asked, who is a manager? Now, you know what is management. As I told you that if you have to manage an event, that is management of an event. If I give you an example that you have to manage a party of 20 people in 10,000 bucks, so you'll be managing it. And who is a manager? A person who actually manages things. So who is a manager? Manager is an individual in an organization who directs the activities of others and who is hired by the organization. So that person is called a manager. Often this question is, asked in the minds of the people that what managers do, who managers are, why they are important, and what is their work. So it really becomes complex at times for students who are coming to MBA course or management course for the very first time. And even those who have done BBA, even they are often complex that what are the qualities? Because now you're doing a professional degree. Till now, what you were doing was only academic purposes. Just to get a undergraduation, a graduation degree, either you did BBA or BCom or BSc or BTech, depending on your desires. But now you all are going to join a course which is a comprehensive professional degree which will make you ready for the industry to become effective and efficient manager. And it is, a duty of the Lloydians to, imbibe those skills in all of you. So you all should imbibe those skills and reach to the top, because we all want to be proud of the students of the Lloyd. So what is the work of the managers basically? What do they do? So in an organization, you all know what organization is. If you do not know, then organization is a unit of people where professional work is carried on for a specific purpose or for a specific objective to be met. So these objectives can either be short term, these objectives can either be long term, and these for obtaining these objectives, for achieving these objectives, people come together and there are various departments in organization. अगर मैं ये बोलूं कि एक शॉप है मेरे घर के पास, क्या वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है? No, a shop is not an organization because it is not in an organized fashion. If I say that मैंने अपने फ्रेंड्स का एक ग्रुप बना लिया है और हम लोग मिलकर के सोशल वर्क करते हैं, क्या ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है? नो, अगेन दिस इज नॉट एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अंटिल इट इज अ प्रोफेशनल बॉडी which is registered legally, and there is some kind of departments, some kind of activities related to business that is happening in an organization. So common characteristics of organizations could be that it has separate purpose or goals, it has human resources within it, and it has a systematic structure. So when I talk about structure, lot of people are confused. कई लोग होते हैं, कई बार बच्चे मेरे पास आते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स मुझसे ये बात बोलते हैं जब कोर्स चल रहा होता है कि मैम हमें तो पता ही नहीं है कौन से लेवल्स होते हैं मैनेजमेंट में, क्या स्ट्रक्चर होता है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है सबको पता हो. कुछ बेसिक चीजें हैं जो एक मैनेजर को मालूम होना ही चाहिए, और उन बेसिक चीजों में आता है लेवल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. कि एक जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उसमें कई लेवल्स होते हैं, बेसिकली 3 लेवल्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. We'll begin from the lowest level. As you can see, it is a pyramid. पिरामिड क्यों बनाया गया? कि लोएस्ट लेवल में सबसे ज्यादा लोग हैं, मिडिल लेवल में कम हो जाते हैं लोग, और सीईओ लेवल पे, यानी कि जो टॉप लेवल है मैनेजमेंट का, वहां जाकर के पिरामिड छोटा हो जाता है और नंबर ऑफ रिसोर्सेज आर आल्सो लिमिटेड हियर, बट दे हैव द हाईएस्ट कैपेसिटी to take out the work from others, and it is difficult to reach that position, and only a leader and an effective manager can reach the position at the top level. So it will be our efforts and struggle of the faculties and of the students to reach at the top level of the management. So you all must know what different levels are and how you can enter those levels. And once you're working in an organization, you should be clear, especially if you are going for human resource management, you should know कि कौन से लेवल पे किस तरह की सैलरीज होती हैं या कौन सा सैलरी ब्रैकेट होता है, पैकेज होता है, कौन से लेवल पे ट्रेनिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, कौन से लेवल पे डेवलपमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. एंड इफ यू आर इन प्रोडक्शन, then also in supply chain management, you must know that where you have to work and where you will be getting your resources from. And if you're working in finance, again, the same thing goes. You should know different levels of management. So as you can see in this pyramid, there are 3 levels of management. The lowest level is first line management or office manager, shift supervisor, team leader. इस तरह के लोग काम करते हैं जो फर्स्ट लाइन मैनेजर्स कहलाते हैं. सेकेंड लाइन मैनेजर्स या मिडिल लेवल मैनेजमेंट में आ जाता है जनरल मैनेजर किसी कंपनी का, प्लांट मैनेजर, रीजनल मैनेजर. अगर मैं एग्जांपल लूं एक बैंक की, कोई एक बैंक है, सपोज आई टेक द नेम ऑफ आईसीआईसीआई बैंक. अब उस आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में आप जब जाते हो तो एक क्लर्क बैठा होता है, ठीक है, एक वहां पर टेलर बैठा होता है जो पैसे देता है. तो ये सारे आ जाते हैं फर्स्ट लाइन में. एक एग्जीक्यूटिव बैठा होगा, सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव, वो आ जाएगा फर्स्ट लाइन में. अब आप बोलते नहीं आपको मैनेजर से बात करनी है क्योंकि ब्रांच हेड जो है वहां का आईसीआईसीआई का, जो ब्रांच हेड है वो आ जाएगा मिडिल लेवल मैनेजर. ठीक है, ब्रांच हेड जो, इवन जो सिटी का हेड होगा वो भी मिडिल लेवल मैनेजमेंट में आ जाएगा. दिल्ली का एनसीआर का हेड, दैट पर्सन विल आल्सो कम अंडर द मिडिल लेवल मैनेजमेंट इन मार्केटिंग एरिया. अब मार्केटिंग का जो कंट्री हेड होगा दैट विल कम इन टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट. जो कंट्री हेड, जो पूरी कंट्री देख रहा है, ठीक है. Here are only just for example I have written CEO of the company, but directors of the company also come under top level management. All right. I can see a lot of students are sending me some queries. Purnima ma'am, some students are raising their hands, so can I take the questions in between?
I think, ma'am, there is no question that they want to ask. Sometimes by mistake they are raising hands.
Oh, okay.
I have informed everyone, and everyone is aware that they can put their questions to chat box.
All right, wonderful. So they'll put their questions to the chat box, and maybe after the session I can take up the questions, whatever they are. So what are the duties and responsibilities of a top level manager that has to be taken care of in organizational context? You being managers, you have to understand this. And even from the day one, I keep telling my students that from day one, you should think yourself as managers. You're stepping into the class, you all are managers from there. And start thinking and processing your mind in a manner of a manager. What a manager would think, how a manager would conduct this thing, what examples your faculty members are giving you, how you will analyze it as a manager. So once you're into the classroom, you're working as a manager. So what are the responsibilities of the top manager? You should know that. So the top manager is responsible for making strategies. Okay, so that is the most important thing, making strategies and creating change in the organization by making those strategies for long term. So basically, it is for long term strategies or objectives are created by the top managers. Okay, and they try to create a culture, an organizational culture where everyone tries to fit in. So a culture, a good leader will make a culture where you can just give suggestions anytime. You can give your feedback. You have decision-making powers. You are empowered with a lot of responsibilities. Creative work like employee engagement is there. You're engaged into creative activities in the organization. Your role is there in decision-making. So a top-level manager has to create an organizational culture which is very conducive to the career development of any employee. Next, we move on to the middle level managers. As I gave you the example of ICICI Bank, where the regional manager is there, branch head is there. They all are working for their areas. So, for example, the branch manager or the regional manager or the city manager is working for the branch itself, and they have to achieve the objectives of their branch. And if all the branches will achieve the objectives of the country manager or the top level manager will be achieved automatically. So they are responsible for setting up objectives, goals, plans, and strategies for their own branches, coordinating with different groups, Like different groups could be, a marketing manager has to coordinate with finance manager also. He or she has to check whether we have budget to do this marketing activity or not. बजट ही नहीं है तो फिर कैसे करेंगे, है ना? तो फाइनेंस के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट उनको करना है। और अगर कोई प्रमोशनल कैंपेन करनी है तो बजट देखना है, उसके लिए बात करनी है उसके लिए। या अगर अगर और लोग हायर करने हैं तो एचआर वाले से बात करनी है कि भाई मुझे और ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज की अवेलेबिलिटी की रिक्वायरमेंट है। So this is what a middle level manager does. They also monitor and manage the performance of different managers. They try to see how people are performing, whether they are performing or not, whether the things are up to the mark or not, whether we are achieving the objectives, long-term objectives or vision or mission created by the top level management, whether we are trying to create the organizational culture which is being a vision of the top level, and implementing these changes which were envisioned by the top level managers. So it is the most critical role of the middle level manager, because he or she becomes a kind of a information disseminator between the top and the bottom level management. So he or she, if there are any suggestions, feedbacks from the first line managers, then it is a responsibility of the middle manager to take it up to the higher level manager. If there are any strategies, any changes implemented at the top level, then it is the duty of the middle level manager to take it to the first line managers. So here are the examples of some first line managers, and first line managers are managing the performance of entry level employees. They are looking after the factory, they are looking after the labor, then training them how to use machines, how to use take the calls, where to sit, what to do, making schedules and operating plans for middle level management's plans to, in order to meet the plans of the middle level managers. So this is what the first line managers do. Usually when you will enter the market, you will enter as a first line manager unless you have prior experience to joining MBA program. And later on, with your caliber, with achieving your targets and achieving success, being a good employee, you can move up the ladder into a middle level management. And of course, 10 years down the line, who knows that you are the CEO of the company. So we all hope that to see all the students moving up the ladder. Next, we move on to the skills required for different levels of management. So there are the skills have been divided into 3 parts, basically: conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. So technical skills are like how to work on the machines, how to work on computers, Excel sheet, or maybe if you talk about IT industry, then someone who knows programming. So these technical skills are required. So what are human skills? Human skills are leadership qualities, understanding people, working in teams, working in groups, working individually. These are all human skills, or maybe you can call them interpersonal skills, which are required by managers. And then comes the conceptual skills. This is the ability to analyze and diagnose a situation from cause and effect point of view. Like if some changes come, suppose some conceptual skills in how to manage organization in times of disruption. For example, COVID came all of a sudden. So conceptual skills are, managerial skills, which are usually found in the top level management, and they are most to be found in the leaders of the organization. As you can see from this diagram, the top managers are supposed to have most of the conceptual skills, sky blue color you can see, and minimum technical skills are required at this level. But at first line managers, as you can see the yellow figure, yellow part highlighted, and you can see that mostly it is the technical skills required by the first line managers. So first line managers should have more technical skills, but lesser conceptual skills. But top management has more conceptual skills than the technical skills. So obviously, a CEO doesn't require to do the programming. A CEO just requires to make changes or bring about new policies, new structures, new procedures, meeting people, acquiring or acquisitions, mergers of the organization, and decisions pertaining to the same. So this is again the diagram about top level and middle level and lower level managerial skills required. I hope it is clear to all of you till now. I'll quickly take up the functions of management also, because many of times I've seen that students lag this basic question. Sometimes I ask even in the interviews, this question is usually asked, what are the functions of management? And people are like, oh, what to answer? So these concepts are to be imbibed from the day one of your MBA program. In fact, before that, you should know that what are the functions of management and what are the basic definitions of these functions of management. And I hope I'll be able to clear this right now. So as you can see, the different functions, there are basic 5 functions of management. You all must know, whether you're from management background or you are not, you must know these 5 functions. Many a times I often ask this question, basic question from a BBA student, and a person is not sometimes able to answer this. So first is planning, and these are all interconnected, as you can see in the diagram. And this is cyclical in nature. So when you are talking about managerial skills, when you're talking about managers and their success, they take into account these 5 functions which are necessary to achieve the objectives or goals of the organization in an effective, efficient manner. So just remember these. Planning is something you need to plan before the event takes place. So you have to, do the planning. There can be long-term plans, there can be short-term plans, there can be plans related to different departments, different strategies. There can be plans, higher level plans like acquiring another company, mergers with another companies, and things like that. So after making the plan, it's like half of the work is done. 50% of your work is done because you've already planned how you are going to carry out the work. Next is organizing things. Next, you have to organize those plans in a manner which is easily achievable. You just cannot plan something which is not achievable. It has to be achievable. And in order to achieve the plans, you need to organize your resources. So what are your resources? Land, labor, capital. पढ़ते चले आ रहे हो कई सालों से कि land होती है हमारी resource, labor होता है और capital होता है. तो capital भी आ गया, human resources भी आ गए, land और office भी है. लेकिन अगर वो सही तरीके से ऑर्गेनाइज्ड नहीं है डिपार्टमेंट्स में तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. अगर मार्केटिंग का बंदा ही एचआर का भी काम कर रहा है और फाइनेंस का भी काम कर रहा है तो चीजें सही से नहीं हो पाएंगी. ना मार्केटिंग का काम हो पाएगा, ना एचआर का हो पाएगा, ना फाइनेंस का हो पाएगा. तो जब हम ऑर्गेनाइजिंग की बात करते हैं किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डिपार्टमेंटेशन. दैट मीन्स वी हैव टू डिवाइड द वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू द needs of the department and according to the needs of the product or factory or the objectives of the organization. So you have to organize it. And then comes staffing. आपको कितने लोगों की रिक्वायरमेंट है अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स में, कौन क्या काम करेगा, सही आदमी को सही जगह काम करवाना है. ऐसा तो नहीं है ओवर स्टाफिंग है या ऐसा तो नहीं है अंडर स्टाफिंग है. दैट यू हैव टू टेक इनटू पर्सपेक्टिव. And then of course direction. Directing is how the work has to be done. You have already planned, now you have organized, and someone has to direct. So you need the right managers to give the directions how the work will be carried out in an effective and an efficient manner. Okay. And then comes controlling. Controlling is most important. And controlling is, at all the stages of management. Controlling is whether the work that you planned has gone in the right direction or not. Whether you directed the people to carry out certain tasks in a certain time period, were they able to do it? If not, why? What were the reasons? Right? If you suppose you had the task to complete the production of certain units in 1 month's time, so did it happen? If not, then what were the reasons? If yes, then maybe you can improve on your production next time. So controlling is like checking, keeping a check on the progress of objectives and goals that you have made in order to carry out the objectives of the organization. So this is how controlling is done. So these were the skills that I just wanted all of you to brush up. Those who are new into management and those who already have studied management. And that's all from my side. If anyone has any questions, Dr. Madan, they can take up.
Sure, ma'am. We have received a lot of questions. One of the questions asked by Sukriti, she says, I want to ask, what are the skills mostly required for middle-level managers?
Okay, so for middle-level managers, the skills are that, first of all, a middle-level manager would be someone with experience. It cannot be a fresher. You have to start from the first-line manager itself. Your career will begin from first time management itself, and then you move on up the ladder. But the most important skill is people skill and conceptual skill, of course, which is required. So technical skill will become lesser by the time you'll reach middle level management. It will be more like how you can play in teams, how effectively you can get the work done by the people. Time management is one of the skills which is required, whether you are achieving your targets on time or not, whether you are meeting the deadlines. If yes, then you would definitely achieve these. So another is soft skills. So soft skills is also a skill required by the manager to effectively get the work done by the people. So soft skills is like leadership qualities, time management. Okay. So what courses should be mastered in to be a great manager? What courses? So MBA is one of the courses. Yes, you have done the right decision of getting into MBA. And Dr. Purnima, you would like to answer this?
Yes, sure, ma'am. I would say that they must go for an MBA because it's a very professional course. And apart from them, we at Lloyd also have PGDM program, which already had started. So you can also go for a PGDM program. Both are same. The only thing is that PGDM is more real time in comparison to what MBA will offer to you. And besides that, if you really want to master more skills and want to hone your skills, you can also go for a lot of certificate programs. So try for yourself, go for either, NPTEL programs which are, provided by Swayam platform. Go for them and explore the opportunities yourself. Also, if I'm not wrong, all your mentors have given you a lot of options to enroll for NPTEL programs. You can choose any one of that and go for certifications. So, if you talk about degree, you can go for either MBA or you can either go for a postgraduate diploma in, management. Otherwise, you can go for certificate programs.
Any other questions? If you have,
yes,
you can ask.
Yes, one more question is there from Anurag. He says, how to develop management skills in ourselves?
Okay, how to develop management skills? The first thing is time management, as I said. So you all must make a plan. As I said, there are 5 functions of management. So it not only implies on organization, it also implies on you. So first of all, begin with planning. What you have to do, how you have to plan your MBA program in such a manner that you are able to complete it timely, also with good marks, along with certain certification programs. So first is planning. And second is, of course, implementing those plans in an organized fashion and trying to meet the deadlines, whatever is given to you. As ma'am has already pointed out that you can do certain certification programs, and someone has asked me what kind of certification programs. So you can go for like negotiation skills if you want to improve your marketing areas. If you want to go for human resource management, you can do some training, some sessions on how to do training for trainers program. There are a lot of available programs on this, and you will easily find it on Udemy and other MOOCs platform like NPTEL is there, Udemy is there, Coursera is there.
One of them, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. And also, even at Lloyd, we give opportunities from IBM to the students to do certain certification programs. So managerial skill, as I said, time management is most important. Then developing your communication skills. So not necessarily English communication. I'm not talking about English, but I'm talking about communication skills like convincing power, negotiation power. You should be able to negotiate certain things in your life and communicating in a very effective and an efficient manner so that you are able to convince the other party. So you should have these kinds of skills. Okay, someone wants
there is one question from Shubham Kumar, and he's insisting to let me ask you this question. He says that what are the managerial skills for getting into the job of private equity and hedge funds and investment banker?
Okay, very good question. I think if you have to go into finance and you have a background of finance, then the skills required, of course, people skills are required everywhere. So that goes without saying. And time management and planning is also common for any field you enter into. But specifically, if you're going into finance, in that case, you have to be a very ethical leader, very, very ethical, that you cannot fudge with numbers. Secondly, if you can go for certain certification courses in BFSI, banking, and on finance, on hedge fund funding, and also on stock markets. So you can improve on your skills by going, even you can improve your skills by just getting some stocks by creating a demat account. I don't know how many of you have a demat account, but if the question asked from the person, I don't remember his name. What's his name, Dr. Madan?
Shubham. Shubham.
Shubham. Okay, so Shubham, if you have this, account, demat account, then you can go ahead and start trading in stocks, and that way you will know a lot about how to manage funds. So this is one
And
thing I think everyone should invest their amount. Not much, just 1,000 rupees is enough every month. Don't go for
And
much.
to
Yes,
add on
ma'am.
to that, ma'am, we have another session on how to invest, which is
Okay.
scheduled on, this coming Friday itself. So I think Shubham's many doubts will be cleared in that particular session.
Certainly,
He can,
certainly.
yeah, he can put the question across to the resource person.
Sure.
Ma'am, if you permit, can we take another, one or two questions?
Yeah, sure. I can see one question here, that what are the skills required for human resources?
Yes.
And yeah, one of the major skills required for human resource management is communication skills, because you will be taking interviews, and also, you will be judging a person on the personality of the person. So you should have a good personality yourself. You should be able to impress the other party, able to take the interviews and train the person, convince the person, negotiate on salary, and negotiate on, give good counseling. Because as an HR person, you'll be dealing with certain conflicts also. So you should be a good conflict resolution handler, who would be able to handle the conflicts in the organization. And someone who is able to convince the person to come on a lesser salary and better work in an organization, and to train that person to work effectively and efficiently in the organization. So these are the skills required for a good HR person. And marketing, marketing
yeah,
also, I think someone has asked.
Yes, I want to choose marketing. What important steps should I take to be a good marketer?
So in marketing, again, it goes without saying that you should be good in speaking. I mean, you should be having good negotiation powers. If you know that it will bring more profit margins for the organization. If a product is sold for 10 rupees, then you should be able to sell it at 10, not at 8. So that is, the convincing power, negotiation power, customer handling, talking with people, great personality, keeping a smile on your face, not getting stressed out in certain circumstances. So stress management is also one of the skills which is required by the managers, effective managers. And same thing goes with supply chain and logistic. And I think everywhere it is common. All these skills are common. So these soft skills are common, I think. So whether it is logistics, supply chain management, BFSI, finance, marketing, HR, IT,
Absolutely.
wherever you go. So all these
the basic, ma'am is absolutely right. The basic knowledge you need to get for your particular specialization field, but the rest things, will remain the same. So please don't ask these questions. Maybe you can save these questions later on for specific sessions on supply chain, logistics management, which are very soon, will be there. Ma'am, can you please answer a question for Vikhyat? He says, can you please explain me the difference between controlling and directing?
Yeah, sure. As you go by the definition itself, directing comes before controlling, although controlling is there at every level, as I said earlier. So controlling is where you are keeping a check of what you are doing. And directing is where the manager is directing how the work should be carried out, how the budget should be used, how the deadlines should be met, what is going to be your target, who you are going to report to. Okay, so these are the things that a direction covers. But controlling is something where you need to control that whether the direction given has been implemented or not. The direction by the manager was given to complete the task in 1 week, suppose. Now, as a controlling officer, you must go and see and check that whether this task has been done in 1 week or not. So that is the difference between controlling and directing.
Ma'am, there is one query which a student is asking. He says that, PGDM has started and MBA is not. So if you can permit, can I answer this?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Sure, Shubham. Our PGDM program is an autonomous program which is affiliated to AICTE. But if you talk about the MBA program, it is affiliated to AKTU University. So PGDM program, AICTE has given us, that rights to start the program, but not for MBA because it's affiliated to AKTU, that is Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam University. So once we receive clear instructions from AKTU to start the classes, we'll begin the MBA classes. And I think the same doubt has already been cleared by our Honorable Group Director, ma'am, when she took a session with you the last week. So, everyone, please have patience. Very soon, as we receive the information from ATTU, we'll begin the classes. Okay. And ma'am, if you can also post those links for YouTube, videos
Sure.
again, because students
Sure,
are
I'll do
saying that they're unable to open that.
Yeah, I'll just post the link.
Sure, ma'am.
So I should post it on the chat box?
Yes, ma'am. I have now, removed the settings. Earlier, they were unable to see that.
So is it visible to everyone? I think host and panelist. Can you see it, Dr. Purnima?
Yes, ma'am. I can see.
Can you post it to everyone?
Ma'am, the option is open. It's for everyone itself.
Okay. It's for panelists also, right?
Yes, everyone. So, ma'am, there is one last question. If you say we can take, somebody is
sure.
asking that is there some difference between the management process and management functions?
Yes, of course, there is a difference. Let me just post again. So I've posted 2 more links to everyone. Now I think it will be visible to all. Okay, so the process of management and management function, it is more or less it is similar, that it begins, the process of management, of course, begins with planning, ends with controlling, and again controlling. After controlling, you find out that there are certain lacunas which you have to handle through planning. So this is a process, and functions are almost same. So this is a cyclical process, circular in nature, beginning from planning, ending with controlling, and again then planning for future. Any other question?
No, ma'am. Most of the questions have been asked, been answered. There are a few more which are repetitive. So I think we are really moving ahead of time. So I'd like to conclude the session, and I hope today's expert talk on managerial skills for young managers will help you all learn the required skills for better career prospects and increasing your employability. I would like to thank Dr. Fehmina Khalique, ma'am, for taking out time from her busy schedule and guiding the students. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you everyone for joining the session. We will see you soon in another interesting session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being patient.